is to guide people and organizations to success. If we were to look back throughout history, when mariners and explorers would go off into uncharted waters, the way that they would oftentimes find their way back home would be through some sort of a landmark. Now, during the day, this landmark would be something like a pile of rocks. But at night, the landmark would have to be something else. In this case, a burning flame, right? Large fire. And over the centuries, this concept has evolved until ultimately we created lighthouses. These big, tall structures where we would put these burning fires and eventually these lights. And the entire purpose of a lighthouse is always to guide people to safety, to help them find their way back home, and to help make sure that they stay away from rocks or cliffs that might crush their ships. And when I was thinking about this concept of the future leader, I very much thought of this idea of a lighthouse, because I think leaders now, and especially in the future, have to be lighthouses. I mean, all of you in this room, your job is to guide people and organizations to success, to help make sure that they stay away from the rocks, to help make sure that they don't crash into the cliffs, and to help make sure that they and the organization as a whole can succeed. But in order to do that, you also have to build yourselves up. Right? You have to become that lighthouse. You have to learn new things. You have to evolve and adapt so that you can in turn shine your light onto others and onto this sea of uncertainty that we are all a part of. And we all know the impact of working for both a bad leader and a great leader. And when you work for a bad leader, you don't feel engaged, empowered, inspired, motivated. When your alarm clock goes off in the morning, you dread waking up and having to show up to work. You don't want to be a part of the organization. You're basically a cog. And unfortunately, a lot of people around the world work for those types of leaders. In fact, there was a study that was actually done on 400,000 Americans. And it actually found that working for a bad leader can quite literally kill you. Because it's one of the leading causes of stress, which translates into cardiovascular disease and heart disease. So not only is it bad for the organization, it's quite literally bad for the very people who work for that kind of a leader. Now, on the other side, we all know what it's like to work for a great leader as well, where when you show up to work, you feel engaged and empowered and motivated, where you feel like somebody is there that has your back. And never before have we needed these types of leaders, these types of great leaders. And it's because leaders quite literally shape the world. I mean, think about the role that leaders play in society. They invest in nonprofits and charitable organizations. They fight for social causes. They build the products and services that so many of us use in our lives and inside of our organizations. They create organizations that offer jobs for millions and billions of people around the world. They create cultures that shape not only how employees behave at work, but also outside of work, what they value, what they care about, what they believe. So leaders have a tremendous impact, not just on organizations, but also on society as a whole. And this is why I think this visual of a lighthouse is so relevant for the leader of today and of the future.